What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 9 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. We are taking this hyper offense team for one last spin, hoping to pick up some really good games as we finish things off. So looking at my opponent's team, it is a Grimmsnarl with Moltres, a Heatran, a Rotom Frost, Urshifu, and a Rillaboom. So I really like Thundurus into this matchup. I really like Thundurus Ninetales. I think the two of them just have a ton of damage into pretty much everything but that Heatran in some kind of way. I guess the Rotom too. I think Urshifu kind of fixes a lot of those holes, being able to get super effective hits onto both the Heatran and the Rotom. The only fear, though, is the fact that I will help give the Rotom more accuracy for its blizzards, and then probably for a final thing, I like Porygon. Right? Porygon also has Ice Beam, can deal with some of these hits. It does have to worry about Urshifu a little bit, but overall, I think Porygon is a good choice. So yeah, the code for the team is in the description, as well as a Pokepaste for the team sets, and I hope that people enjoy and check out the team, because it has been a lot of fun. It's a really cool team. I think it does some fun things. But yeah, let's just see. I think, though, we are in a really good spot for the lead, just due to the fact that, like I said, pretty much every combination my opponent leads, Thundurus Ninetales can hit into it really well. And so we are going to see a Heatran with Rillaboom. So this is interesting in and of the fact that Ninetales, I might protect. So what I'm thinking is protect Ninetales and try and nuke the Heatran, because I'm not worried about Rillaboom, and my opponent really has nothing that can take a Max Lightning. Right? We have, yeah, nothing wants to take the Max Lightning, so I really just want to do that and go for a protect here with the idea that we can change the terrain. And once the terrain has shifted from grassy to electric, they can't go for priority grassy glides onto my Ninetales, and then I can have Ninetales go for damage there. I think the fear for sure is if my opponent maxes Heatran and goes for a max Flare. That's actually probably the thing that scares me the most, because then my damage output from Ninetales is going to go down significantly. But at the same time, I still do have Ice Shard as an option. So what I could do then is just Ice Shard into Thundurus to trigger the Policy and go for, I mean, it should be a KO after that. But let's just kind of see. I'm hoping to see no max. If it's Rillaboom, I think that's okay. But okay, so we do see nothing from the Heatran. So that's a really good position to be in. We are going to see, yep, a fake out into Ninetales as expected, and probably some sort of fire move from Heatran into the Ninetales, as we do get really, really good damage here, to the point where I think we can probably pretty comfortably go for a Blizzard with, okay, so we do see Flash Cannon, yep. Yeah, we can pretty comfortably at this point go for a Blizzard and another Max Lightning. And speed isn't super, super, super relevant here. What's nice is we will... Max Darkness isn't... Let's go for Max Darkness. I think getting the defense drop will guarantee... I think it should guarantee a KO onto Rillaboom in the event that it is Assault Vest. So, because what? It'll be Stab, Blizzard, hopefully single target. That's super effective on Rillaboom, but yeah, I don't necessarily know. I would expect a Rillaboom to switch out, but even then, nothing is really gonna like this damage output, just because I think it is so much. And then what I'm hoping is, yeah, if we can create a scenario where it is 2v4, we can really just, okay, so yeah, we do see the Rillaboom swap out, and we are going to see Rotom come in. I think that does make a lot of sense, just trying to take advantage of the hail, as this Max Darkness is going to connect, and it does pick up the KO, which is really crucial, as now, like I said, we are going to get this Blizzard off. Single target onto a Rotom that is at -1, and while technically it is, not technically, while it is not very effective, we still get very, very good damage onto the Rotom, where I'm very comfortable just going for a Max Darkness the next turn onto that Rotom, and then just using a Blizzard for really whatever comes out, because it is going to be slower than both of my Pokemon, and yeah, it's going to be hard for them really to get enough damage output to deal with this combination. Because okay, so we do see Rillaboom, which means there is going to be the fake out chance into the Ninetales, but I think we can still safely go for a Max Darkness onto the Rotom slot and go for, what do I have in the back? Porygon and Urshifu. Yeah, so this is Ninetales. I want to make sure it's the right thing. We can go for a Protect here, I think, just to try and stop the fake out. And then I think, yeah, once we get this Max Darkness off, I mean, yeah, Rotom took that much from a not very effective hit. So barring it maxing, I don't really see it living. And then I think from there, we can just use a Blizzard to pick up a knockout. So we are going to see a max. Okay, so it is a Beast Ball, so that means it's definitely going to be the Rotom. And I feel confident in the fact that this Max Darkness will do enough where we can go for a KO the next turn. And we do have our Urshifu with Close Combat, which is going to be faster than what is on the field. Oh, we cannot do that, though, because of the fact that, yeah, so we do see the fake out come out. We did not change the terrain because we went for Max Darkness, so that does make things a little bit tricky. We do get some good damage onto this Rotom, but I don't think that we do see the Hailstorm come out, which makes sense because it is boosted. If we live, that's really good, but we're not going to. Yeah, so I don't expect Rotom to be faster. The issue, though, is I think we have to bring out Porygon, because we can't afford to have Rillaboom go for a Grassy Glide to pick up the knockout onto Urshifu. So we bring out Porygon with the idea that this Rotom is at -2 special defense, so we can pretty freely, and do we get a special attack boost? We are going to get a special attack boost, so I think a combination of Tri-Attack onto the Rotom and just a massive Blizzard from Ninetales should pick us up hopefully 1 or 2 KOs, right? Like I cannot see Rotom living a hit from Porygon. I think given the fact that it is at -2, it can't deal with that. We do have the Ninetales with the Sash, which means you would have to go for the double up to have any chance of picking up the knockout, and we probably expect so we do, okay, so no Protect. We do, oh god, we unfortunately don't pick up either knockout from Rotom or from Ninetales. We do see the Max Hailstorm. Porygon takes it, and now is the question, critical hit. The question now is, where is that Rillaboom going? We do see a knockoff onto Porygon. Porygon lives, which is a really big deal, as we can now go for the Tri-Attack, pick up the knockout onto Rotom. And I think even though Porygon doesn't have a Violite, we still do have Focus Sash on the Ninetales, and that is really important. Porygon, unfortunately, is going to go down. So we are going to see, we are most likely going to see a Grassy Glide into that slot, as they do reveal, okay, so they do reveal their last one is Moltres. So what I'm thinking is we Aqua Jet into the Moltres and we go for a Blizzard, because we know that we can pick up the knockout onto Rillaboom with this Blizzard. And so what I'm thinking is we basically bait out the Moltres to attack into Urshifu. So even if we proc the Sash, it'll bring Ninetales down to its Sash, and then another blizzard can finish things off, right? I'm just, like I said, I'm going for Aqua Jet for chip damage more than anything, and just taking advantage of the fact that, okay, so we do see the Protect come out, which is fine. Aqua Jet will hit through that, as we do, pick up a really good amount of chip. We do see Grassy Glide pick up the knockout onto Urshifu. The only fear, which I actually just realized, is how many turns of of hail are left. Because if it's the last one, I mean, we do have 2 chances just because of the sash. Yeah, so the hail is going to stop. We just need to, I'm pretty sure given the range Ninetales is at, I mean, not Ninetales, Moltres is at, we just need to hit 1. And we are faster. So even if they go for something like a nasty plot, we do see Blizzard, it does connect. Is it going to pick up this knockout? It is going to be very close. We do trigger the policy, and now we can go, we go for an Ice Shard. We do see the Fiery Wrath come out, which is going to, because it's not very effective. 55 from 148, yeah. 55 down to 148. I'm going to go for the Ice Shard onto Moltres. I think it'll be close. I mean, it does about, 8% to Thundurus? And I know that Moltres doesn't have necessarily the best physical defense. So I'm hoping, I don't really want to risk missing with Blizzard, but now I'm risking not picking up the knockout. But given how low Moltres is, we do manage to pick up the knockout. That was definitely something I was really, really afraid of. But I'm glad we were able to pull out in the end. I think one thing that really can be tricky about Ninetales is the fact that it really doesn't have the best special attack. And there are a lot of times where I want to go for a knockout and I just don't get it, like we saw with the Rillaboom. So we do see Moltres. Yeah, this is a pretty bulky Moltres with some defense investment. So I am actually really glad. It also has a lot of HP, so I am glad that we were able to pick up that knockout. And yeah, I think with Hurricane, Fiery Wrath does make a lot more sense. We do see Heatran, very standard. Where is Protect? Yeah, so this is, once again, really standard Rotom set, what to expect. Max special attack, which made it a little tricky. They also did have Water Urshifu, so I think that that's really cool. And then, yeah, Assault Vest on the Rillaboom, which made sense why it was able to tank some hits and go for stuff back, and also why it wasn't able to protect. So, yeah, really good first game, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and this is an interesting one. It is Raichu with a Torkoal, a Rhyperior, a Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard. So a lot of different max options. I could do, so I'm thinking Thundurus Porygon. Thundurus Porygon with Ninetales, with the idea that we can pivot out into Ninetales if need be to change the weather, because that's going to play a really big role. So the question then is, what is the last? I don't think Sableye is super relevant. I like Spectrier. I do like, Urshifu is tempting, but it also is not. I like Spectrier. I think Spectrier being able to do damage into Rhyperior is a really big deal. And I think one thing that I just learned as a result of playing with Rhyperior earlier is that Porygon can almost one-shot Rhyperior with Ice Beam. And I think I was so afraid in that match of proccing a Policy that I lost trying to like avoid getting knocked out when I didn't need to do that. So we are going to see, so we're going to see a Thundurus, not a Thundurus, we're going to see a Venusaur with Charizard. So what I'm thinking of doing is going for an air... Do I want an Airstream? I think I want to do this with the idea that if they switch out... Okay, so we do see a Torkoal come in, which is fine because we are going to be able to significantly reduce the amount of damage that Torkoal can do. And so we know 3 of my opponent's Pokemon. So the big question now is that last one going to be something with Lightning Rod? Because if it's not, we are in a really good position. So I do probably, expect Charizard to max here. I expect Charizard to max and then go for a Volcalith. I mean, not a Volcalith, a Gmax Wildfire. But I'm hoping the fact that there is no sun to boost the damage and there is no solar power will mean that we can survive a hit. Oh, interesting. So they're just going to go straight for Overheat, and they miss, which is a really, really, really big deal. We do see we are going to, get the Airstream off into the Torkoal, which isn't going to do a ton of damage. And I think at this point, I expect Torkoal to switch out. So what I want to do is I want to Airstream into the Charizard and go for an Ice Shard into the Thundurus. Just trying to guarantee, I don't want to say guarantee, but I feel like at +2, so we still see no max, as we are going to get the weakness policy boost, which means I expect Charizard probably is going to try and go for an Overheat, as we are going to see the Torkoal go for an Eruption. Oh, they could go for Burning Jealousy. Burning Jealousy would be scary. Burning Jealousy is probably the thing that could... Okay, so we see a Yawn. Yawn I am actually okay with, because I think Thundurus most likely will be able to pick up another KO at this point, or even set up for the endgame, because we know that they have Venusaur, and I want to see... so we see the last one is Rhyperior. And so I'm actually feeling really good going for a Darkness into Rhyperior, and I want to preserve the weather. I'm going to go for it into Torkoal, and I'm going to... I want to Aurora Veil. I'm going to go for an Aurora Veil. I think it makes sense to preserve Ninetales as much as possible, or provide defensive options. Because now what I'm thinking is if... Porygon I think will be able to deal with Rhyperior, especially if we can knock its defense out. If we know that the weather is not on their side, Venusaur isn't going to be that fast. We are going to see Torkoal go for a Protect. I think that that's smart, but I'm hoping that +2 will do a sizable chunk, as it does literally nothing. That's fine. Everything is fine. We do get the special defense drop onto Rhyperior, which I think is going to be a big deal. We are going to get the Aurora Veil up, and now probably expecting to see a Rockfall from... We do see a Flare. Okay, so that's spicy tech. They also don't pick up the Knockout, which is great because now... I mean, not the Knockout. They don't bring me down to my Sash. This is just going to be really tricky, though, because of the fact that Thundurus is going to take a turn of sleep. But we can... I'm going to just go for a Fly, not trying to reveal that I have... not trying to reveal that I have... What is it called? Protect. Actually, it doesn't matter because Thundurus is going to move first. We are... I should have gone for the Rockfall into Rhyperior. This is actually also really risky to bring out Porygon 2 now, because of the fact that I do want to be able to save Porygon 2 for dealing with Rhyperior in the endgame. So I am potentially risking losing something really important, as we do see, yep, the Rhyperior go for the Rockfall into the Thundurus, which I think is fine, because that now will change the weather again. This will change the weather again, so whatever attack Torkoal goes for, which probably is going to be a Yawn, right? I do expect... Okay, so we do see the Burning Jealousy onto Porygon, which because of the Aurora Veil is going to take... What? Oh, because Porygon got its special attack boost. Okay, that's actually fine. Porygon at this point can pick up knockouts onto stuff, and we can bring out Spectrier. So what I'm thinking is I want to Shadow Ball into the Torkoal to get Spectrier to have a boost. So we can go Shadow Ball here, and does Porygon have a special attack or an attack boost? Porygon does have a special attack boost. So I want to just go for a Shadow Ball onto Rhyperior just to start chipping away at it. We do have Shadow Ball having the chance to pick up a knockout, which I think is very valuable. And there is the fact that if they do have Venusaur as their last one and go for a max flare, we can easily pivot out the weather. But I think given the fact that we have the Aurora Veil up, I do expect both Spectrier and Porygon to live. I think it still does make things just a little bit tricky, especially given the fact that Spectrier does not have Protect. We do also get the special defense boost onto Rhyperior, which is huge, as they are going to use their last turn to go for a Quake into Spectrier, and Spectrier is going to live, and Spectrier should be able to live after the Sandstorm, which is great, because now, yeah, Porygon is still relatively healthy. It is losing a fair bit of HP just as a result of the burn and the fact that, the burn and the fact that there's Sandstorm. But my opponent is going to be forced to bring out Venusaur. We can pretty easily go for a Shadow Ball onto the Venusaur. Yeah, we can Shadow Ball onto Venusaur, and we can go for a Shadow Ball onto Rhyperior. And I feel confident that a Blizzard from Ninetales will be able to pick up at least one knockout. And then I think, yeah, with the Aurora Veil, if we can get rid of Venusaur, smart. So we do see the Venusaur Protect, which is actually, I think, a really good play. We do see a double Protect come out, and as a result, we are going to lose Spectrier, but we do get to change the weather, and given that, I know that we should be able to pick up the knockout onto this Venusaur, or not this Venusaur, this Rhyperior with Porygon. And then, yeah, so let's see how much Blizzard does. Yeah, Porygon is losing so much health. Oh god. Yeah, Ninetales is at 4. Ninetales is at 4, but they both protected. Neither of them have priority. And yeah, let's see how much this does. I do expect Venusaur, or let's see. So we can go for a Blizzard here, and then an Ice Beam onto Rhyperior will pick up the KO. The thing to fear the most, though, is what? We know that Venusaur cannot put Porygon to sleep, so I do expect it most likely to go for a Sludge Bomb onto the Ninetales. We are going to see the Blizzard come out. It's going to do... Yeah, okay, so we do pick up the knockout onto Venusaur. I mean, not onto Venusaur, onto Rhyperior, which means that Venusaur going for a Sludge Bomb onto Ninetales will knock out Ninetales, but Porygon at +1 should be able to... Oh yeah, it's Life Orb. There's no question that Porygon is going to pick up this knockout, which, yep, we do see it here. So, good game. I think I'm really glad that we were able to use Thundurus with the weakness policy and just, like, I think really use this team really well and take advantage of the fact that while Thundurus didn't pick up, like, a ton of KOs, it did really set up a good position for me in this endgame. And I think it is also important to acknowledge the fact that that overheat miss was a really big deal, because it meant that I was able to preserve Ninetales and then set up and then use Ninetales in the endgame, whereas I would not have been able to do that if I had taken the first overheat and gone down to my Sash. So yeah, good job with the team so far, and yeah, let's play one more and hopefully we can finish 3 and out. All right, last battle of the day, and this is actually really scary. It is Regieleki with Whimsicott, Mamoswine, Urshifu, Cinderace, and Rillaboom. I like Thunder. I mean, I feel like it's so standard, but definitely like these two. Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly tempted. I kind of want to go Sableye Spectrier just because this team really struggles with Regieleki. But like after that, what? I can't. Yeah, there's no good way to deal with Regieleki. I'm gonna go Sableye Spectrier. I think Urshifu can deal with a lot, and then could bring Porygon or Ninetales. I'm gonna bring Porygon. This is really risky because of the fact that my opponent has Urshifu, and I actually don't have a good Urshifu counter. My Urshifu counter might just be to max Porygon, which isn't unheard of. I mean, this Porygon is designed to be offensive. It does have max special attack. We see a Cinderace and a Whimsicott. So what I'm thinking is we just try and nuke the Cinderace for as much damage as possible. We quash Cinderace, and Max Phantasm does more. Let's go for that. So this way, even if they try and go for Trick Eject, there is the huge. Just kidding. There is the huge risk that they have Sucker Punch, and they just Sucker Punch me. Yeah, if they have Helping Hand Sucker Punch, I think this game is probably gonna be over. Cause I don't. Yeah, there's no way I can come back from that lead, right? Because that would pick up the knockout onto the Cinderace, or not the Cinderace, the Spectrier. So yeah, Helping Hand Sucker Punch is definitely something that exists, because it would stop the Quash and it would pick up the knockout, and it would make it so I can't go for a Will-O-Wisp the subsequent turn. We are going to see. Okay, so we do see a Cinderace Max, which is nice. My plan has not been a total failure yet. It guarantees we do get at least one hit off into the Cinderace. Most likely 2. Just due to the fact that we do have Quash, and even if they knock out Spectrier here, we can bring out Surging Strike or Urshifu, and they cannot change to Dark fast enough. We are going to see the Tailwind. Tailwind isn't going to matter against Sableye. We do get the Quash off, which is really nice. So before we have to take a hit from them, we do pick up some really good damage, to the point where I think Urshifu. Oh yeah, because the defense drop. So an Urshifu Aqua Jet from this range should be enough. So I'm actually really confident about that. We are going to see a Fireball come out into Spectrier. Spectrier is going to live, and given the fact that the Cinderace most likely is not going to carry any sort of Protect move, I think it's fine just to go for a Quash, and let's go for a Max Quake. Does my opponent have a very special team? No. I still think we go for that. Luckily, Whimsicott being so passive means that we can really use Spectrier focusing on picking up knockouts onto the Cinderace. So we're going to get that postponed. We should hopefully live a Moonblast, which we do. and we are going to be able to pick up a really big knockout onto this Cinderace. We are probably, as a result, going to lose Sableye. I mean, not Sableye. We are going to lose Spectrier, but trading maxes, I think, is advantageous for us in the long run. Luckily, we do have Quash, so yeah, because we have Quash, we can really take advantage of the fact that, what is it called? That we don't have the Tailwind support. And so yeah, we do unfortunately lose Spectrier. I think given everything they have in the back, we want to bring out Porygon and kind of go from there. Because if they have Rillaboom, burning Rillaboom, I think is really big. Regieleki is super scary. So we can probably try and knock out this Whimsicott the subsequent turn. As we do see Urshifu. Okay, this is good. It is Urshifu Rapid Strike as opposed to Urshifu Dark, which means that we can get a Will-O-Wisp off into it. And I think if we can get the Will-O-Wisp off, we'll be in a really good spot. And we can just go for a Tri-Attack here. So I think we need to hit this. We need to hit this Will-O-Wisp to have any chance of winning. And luckily, because of the fact that it is water, not dark, we are, I think, really poised for that. Because they could protect and then do what? So leaving Whimsicott, I think at this point is fine. Worst case, what? The worst case is what? They detect with Urshifu, and then they Moonblast into Sableye and pick up a knockout. They aren't going to do that. We do, luckily, get off a burn onto this Urshifu, which means I should hopefully live. Oh, they're going for a Surging Strike. So that should be good. And I expect a Porygon into Sableye, which is fine because of the fact that, like, Sableye is going to take that really. It's going to be at half, and I expect probably a Moonblast into the Sableye as well. Okay, so interesting. They target Porygon, and Porygon doesn't get the special attack drop. We are going to hopefully pick up a knockout onto this Urshifu. That's annoying. We don't get the knockoff onto Urshifu, but we can quash Urshifu and go for a Tri-Attack. Because what? Yeah. This should work out. I think it is just, a little bit annoying that we are going to have to probably lose Sableye this turn. As we do see, a Moonblast come out into our own Sableye. And now, because now is the big question of what do they have in the back? Because of the fact that we do have Urshifu of our own, but we don't have Protect on it as a result of the band. So can we live the Moonblast from... Oh god, it's Mamoswine. Okay, so this is bad. To quote, this is bad. I have to Surging Strike the Mamoswine and Tri-Attack the Whimsicott. Yeah, so if I live... Okay, so we're going to see the Ice Shard to break a Sash on Urshifu. And I need Urshifu to live this Moonblast, even though I don't expect it to. We are going to go from 156 down to a clear 0. Good job, Urshifu. You did nothing. Great. We can now go for a Tri-Attack onto Whimsicott, as Whimsicott will hopefully go down. Whimsicott has a Sash. Please burn it. I will take a freeze. So, okay, so Mamoswine. Interesting to know that Mamoswine is probably Assault Vest. I'm going to ignore Whimsicott for a turn. I'm hoping to get a burn with Tri-Attack. Whimsicott is frozen, that's fine. We are going to take a high horsepower and 144 to 78. So we can actually live another one, assuming that So I need Whimsicott to be frozen this turn. 78 and... Okay, so you are going to stay frozen. That's great. We are going to take another high horsepower. 78 down to... So we ended up at 17, and I just need to end up over 78. We're going to be at 113. So I want to go for one more. And I think... Yeah, the question, though, is just how do I should have just gone for an Aqua Jet onto Mamoswine. I don't know why I was like, oh, Surging Strike. Aqua Jet would have been more than enough to dent the Mamoswine. We do see the Mamoswine protect, which is actually really good, as we are going to see Wimmy being frozen for another turn. So we can go for a recover here, and we are up to full. So I'm pretty confident in the fact that I can live enough to knock out the Mamoswine, and then Whimsicott. So let's see how much damage it does, because this is going to be a pretty crucial turn. Because Whimsicott is guaranteed to thaw this turn. I don't actually know what the freeze. Okay, yeah, I think with Whimsicott being frozen this turn, unless Icicle Crash KOs and crits, 192 down to 135. Can Icicle Crash flinch? Yeah, so we are going to, it looks like, finish this off unless there's some kind of freak sort of thing with Whimsicott at 1 HP. It is, in my mind, pretty frustrating that my opponent got 3 turns of freeze, because there's probably no way I would have been able to win this without that. I guess I could have gone for the Aqua Jet. Wow, freeze can be 4 turns. So that's kind of just insult to injury at this point. Maybe if I had gone for Aqua Jet instead, which I think rightly makes sense to just deal that damage. Yeah, I think if I had doubled up onto Mamoswine, it would have been fine, because they would have gone for the Ice Shard, we would have done a ton of Surging Strike, and then we would have finished off with Tri-Attack, and then it would have been Porygon versus Whimsicott, which they should not have been able to win. But yeah, very good run with this team. I'm happy that we were able to finish so strongly. Trying to figure out what the plan is for the next couple days, particularly because I am doing... This is a bad idea, but I'm doing 2 tournaments this weekend, so probably not a lot of uploading, just because of the fact that it is going to be just a lot of rounds of Swiss, and I just don't necessarily want to do other stuff than that, but we'll see. Maybe we'll do something fun, maybe we'll do some stuff on Showdown, depending on if I potentially top cut for either tournament. I would love to upload some of the best of 3s from the championship. But yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.